Come on in the room. I want to wear my redskin hat since I got on my yellow watch. Anyway, welcome to another special edition of When Tired Water Talks. This is the one and only Devon Mickey. I'm here at the Bethany Baptist Church in the beautiful city of Chesapeake, Virginia. So I had the opportunity to meet this gentleman at Alex Holt's renewal conference. And when I was sitting in the audience, I was trying to pull my hair out because this guy was so amazing. So I asked him then, would you mind being a guest on When Tired Water Talks? And he said, absolutely. So here we are with the one and only, my newly found brother and friend, Stephen Pender. How you doing, sir?
How you doing?
Listen, thank you so much for taking time. I know you was in town during the busy Issachar conference, but I thank you for holding over yet a little while to play, to talk tower. So if you would, like I do everybody, open us up with whatever song you would desire. Yes, sir. That's how you start off an interview. Listen, many people don't know about the hymns of the church. That's a good one. That's a good one. Listen, let me give you this microphone so that people can hear you. Listen, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Stephen Pender? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm 27 years old. I'll be 28 this upcoming August.
Good month.
I'm originally from Wilson, North Carolina.
Wilson,
North Carolina.
Okay.
Born and raised, now recently relocated to Salisbury, Maryland, where I am the music director of the First Baptist Church of Salisbury.
Yes, sir, First Baptist.
I began playing at the age of 2 years old. Music is my life. I love it. Been doing this forever. So.
Man.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, stop, man. Listen, when I heard you playing, I said, this guy is amazing. Your touch is really good. And you said you're from North Carolina. Matter of fact, somebody said you used to be the minister of music in my church. Elaine says you used to be. Anyway, listen, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are some of your influences? Who do you study?
One of my number one influences is, of course, Pastor Cedric Rawson.
Yes,
I'm actually an understudy of his. So he's one of my big influences musically. You have another guy, Alton Mitchell, out of Wilson, North Carolina, who's now in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Cornelius Renfro, Kendrick Morris. It's so many to name. I can't. Man. I would have to have all afternoon to do it. Of course, my father is one of my influences, Stevie Pender, phenomenal keyboard player, bass player, guitar player.
So you got it in your blood, huh?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, I thought this was something you just picked up. You didn't inherited this gift. I see what you talking
Lord
about.
has been kind.
Oh, has he not been good? Man, what type of how do you practice? Because I know you're MD and you're traveling here and there, upon request. And how do you work out practice? How do you practice upon material you needed, or do you just practice just for the fun of practicing?
There's two ways I guess I can approach the answer. One is if it's something that is dire need to learn, I learn that first.
Right.
But after that, then I kind of, because I'm a lover of music, and I know in order to grow, you gotta explore and learn different things. So I don't sleep much. So I try and I just take as much time as I can in my spare time, especially being married. You have to experience time management. And so most times I'll say, this day is dedicated to my wife, but when we get home, she goes to sleep, I'm going up, because practice makes perfect.
Right.
You gotta work with it.
Man, that's a good intro, because you said that you're married. Now, do your wife sing or?
No.
Also, this is a greater question. How do you balance that? Because I heard you say that you have a day that you try to set aside for your wife. And being married myself, I had the blessing that my wife enjoys music as much as I do, and she sings. But how do you balance, being on the road sometimes and being musical director, and then you have your own project? Congratulations.
Thank you.
How do you balance being a husband and a musician?
The way that I balance it is there's something that Pastor said a while back. He said that what he does with his family is that he dedicates one day just for family. So what I've done is I've adopted that same custom. So what I would do is say, like, for instance, how I've been here all this week. So when I get back home, me and my wife going on a date.
Right.
That's her time. I've had my time, but she has her time. So I kind of delegate specific times, specific days, specifically for her, because she needs that.
That's good, because that keeps the enemy out of our marriages, because we have a difficult task as being minstrels, because our anointing is very attractive, and sometimes that attraction doesn't matter if you're married. Some people don't care, and I think the relationship between husband and wife, especially one that's not in music, both spouses, I think that's important to keep that family first, because if not, marriages are failing every day. But we thank God that, as young musicians, that we have, patterned ourselves. We've seen enough mistakes. We don't want to repeat them. So I think that's good. That's good. Now, did you say you have an album out? Tell us a little about this album.
So this is my third project.
Third
project.
My.
So I recently released my third project entitled Out of My Element, January 1st of this year.
Okay.
So it's a jazz record. It took me about maybe 3 years kind of to complete. I had been working on it for a while, and finally completed it. I actually have some of your own, Kadarius Swain.
Oh yeah.
Kendrick Morris on the project. There's
so
many to name playing on this.
So I take it that you like jazz also.
Yes.
So I'm going to pause here and ask you, could you play something from your project? You don't have to sing. Well, I understand you sing too, but you don't have to sing. But if you want to sing, that's cool. But could you play something? It don't matter if it's organ keys.
Okay, I'm going to play keys on this one.
Okay. Listen, while y'all doing that, y'all share this video. Let me turn it around on me while you're getting set up. Y'all share this with me. Yeah, Brent said he's a problem.
I love that.
Y'all, Brent, matter of fact, you next one. I'm not going to talk about this on this live. But he's getting set up, so we're ready to come back to him. Y'all share this video. That's it. Get it right. That's it. Yes, sir, bass. Yes, sir. Smooth. Listen, I felt like just chilling, letting the sunroof open, just riding, man. That's good music. What's the name of that song?
It's called Peace for the Nation.
You said it's called, what's the name of it?
Peace for the Nations.
Man, what was the thought behind that song when you wrote that?
The thought behind that was, there's so much going on in the world. You got, people killing one another, people going into school shooting. And, the government, it seems like it's going wild, and we just need peace and joy for the nation. We need something to uplift us.
Yeah.
Just know that it's going to be all right. Yeah. We just got to come together and love and just let's get back to prayer.
Man, that's good, because that's a good segue to what I want to ask. Being a musical director at a church, relationship is key, not just with God, but with the pastor, with your musicians, with your director, whoever you have in charge. Speak about having a good relationship, not only with God, but with your co-laborers in the gospel, like those who you work with. Speak about relationship.
It's ironic that you say that. My pastor is also my father-in-law. So, let's go back a few years before I even knew of his daughter. I had had the pleasure of meeting him well before I knew he had a daughter. And we've always kept in contact, and we built this kind of relationship as if he was like a father figure to me. But the key thing about that is that I never step outside of my lane or role. When he's my pastor, he's my pastor. When he's my father-in-law, or for others, maybe friend, or those that we speak to, he's that. The key thing is always being in a place to respect who he is.
That's it.
And always respect the vision and the place that he's trying to take us spiritually. One thing that we always do is that we keep in contact. We may not talk every day, but when we do, we always talk. We have fun. We get to the place to where we have this connection to where we kind of know each other. Right. So that when it comes to the ministry moment, we're able to flow and go certain directions that need to go, and we're in sync.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I just think about what you said. The way you met almost sounds like the way I met my wife, because I was actually just filling in at my father-in-law church. But then it was just the pastor, the assistant pastor. I was just playing to help out. It wasn't about money, because I wasn't even getting paid to do it. Wow. And then his wife, now my mother-in-law, would say stuff like, "Baby, the Lord will sing your wife. The Lord will sing your wife." And at this time, my wife was in a whole nother relationship, a whole nother thing. This is about 4 years ago. So one Sunday she came in and he said, "I'm glad my daughter here. She gonna sing." And the first thing my wife said, "Can you play in all your keys?" And I said, "Well, can you sing in all your keys?" So I said, first of all, I didn't know he had a daughter. But, it just sounded familiar, because before I even knew about her, I had a love for God enough to just assist them. And it wasn't about the money. It was just because of my genuine love for God. So I think relationship is key, especially with the musician and pastor, because you ought to be able to know the heart of your leader who you're serving, because there's going to be moments where the spirit will fall so heavy that he may not even say nothing. You got to know where he would go and go there. So how do you balance that with your fellow musicians and your other directors or whoever you use in your music department?
Most of the time, being that I am the music director, it's kind of like they know to pay attention. Okay. Because one thing I can say at my church, and I'm grateful for this, is that we respect our leaders. So I'll say it's easy where I am, because they know how to follow the lead.
That's good.
And it's not where, in the sense where I'm trying to lord over them, but it's that I know where he's going, and he's trusted me with where I am to follow where he needs to go.
So how do you have any difficulty, because sometimes churches have a tendency, some people tend not to give full respect to younger musicians, and they tend to say, you like a son to me. No, right now I'm not your son.
Right.
Matter of fact, I'm not your son at all. I'm the minister of music. And how do you have any instances where you have to deal with stuff like that?
Yes, I have. In times past, I have had that. But I've learned how to resolve it. It's always vital to have the endorsement of your pastor.
That's key. That's it.
If your pastor does not support what you do, then 9 times out of 10, those who follow him will not follow you.
That's it. So you need y'all hear that, musicians, to have the endorsement of your pastor before you venture off to do anything. And I think that's good. That's really relevant. Listen, I'm going to ask you to play something else. I'm sorry, you want something?
No.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
No.
Listen, you sound like a keyboardist. I want to put you on the spot. I'm going to sing a hymn. In the words of my wife, put me in E flat. I don't know. Let's try. I know you know this. Great is thy faithfulness. All right. Lord God, our Father, there is no shadow unturning with thee. Thou changest not, thy compassions, they fail not. As thou hast been, thou forever will be. Summers and winters, springtime and harvest, sun, moons, and stars in thy courses above, join with all nature in manifold witness to thy great faithfulness. Yes, sir. Mercy and love. So great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hands have provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. Almost cracked that. All I have needed, thy hands have provided. Yes, sir. Come on, Enatra. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto. I got lost to me. Listen, I did that because some people, we get so ticked to do the song the same way that we don't know how to follow. And everything I did, you emulated in your playing. I think that's in key. So I'm trying to think of another song that could go right there. How great is thou, God? Sing with me, how how great is our God. All will see how great is our God. Oh, how great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God. All will see how great is our God. Come on, every key, I hear you. How great is our God? Then sings my soul, our Savior God, to thee. I'm just throwing them on you today. How great thou art. How great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art. How great thou art. Listen, the good thing about that, because as musicians, sometimes we have guest singers come in and they bust out and sing something, and we may not have rehearsed or we may not know what they're doing.
Yeah.
How prepared must you be as a musician to be confident in every key? You already demonstrated how it is to be fluent, but to that musician who may only can play in blacks and can't play in the whites, what can you say to the musician about the importance of being fluent in all your keys?
One is very vital. I get we have transposed. I get some people, may not learn as quickly, but taking that initiative to expand your musical vocabulary as far as the instrument aids you to stretch you to hear different approaches. One thing I learned as a kid was that I was playing the organ in my church, and transposed ain't on vintage organs.
Yep, I know what you mean.
There are many times where I asked God, I was like, make me better than I am. And I, not knowing as a kid, he would put me in a position to where they would sing a song that I know I would play every week, and it would be in like the most oddest key.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to.
Who wants to play an A?
Right.
You're right.
It would be one of the cases where every song would be in that key or a key that I just was not comfortable in.
Right.
But being in an uncomfortable place caused me to be able to grow.
That's important, because I was just telling with I was in choir rehearsal, and I told my choir sometimes the thing about the gym that makes you stronger is stretching, exercising those muscles. And you can't expect to get the muscles and the strength and the endurance if you don't exercise. Same thing with playing. I apply that if we don't practice and we don't sometimes come out of our comfort of, that comfortable range of singing, sometimes, and the same thing with playing. We have to just make ourselves play in those uncomfortable keys. And I think that's really paramount, because some musicians, they want top dollar.
Right.
They want the big churches and all the glitz and glam, but when it comes to a preacher coming, he want to sing something in D natural, and they trying to force him up or force him down. You be like, sir, and you want how much?
So true.
So before I ask you to play something else, speak to the character of musicians when it comes to being on time, being professional, being prepared. Don't come to rehearsals to learn the music, but actually knowing the music. Speak to the overall character of being a musician.
I would say that the technical aspect of playing is only 30% of who you should be. If you're not a person to be on time, then how can people know to depend on you? If you're not a person to be prepared for rehearsal or whatever the material that's required, then how can you expect someone to pay you for something that you haven't did the work to do? Having integrity outside of church, conversation, things you say, your character. That speaks. I mean, your first impression to me is still your last impression. If people know you to be this loud or immature person, then how can we trust you to be in settings of business owners and professional people outside of ministry that you may encounter? How can we trust you to know that you're going to represent Christ in the right way every time? These things are more vital than playing, because you have some of the most gifted musicians in the world that can play. You play 10 times better than you and myself, and have the worst character.
And I always pray that the Lord would give me an anointing, because sometimes I can be in the room where I know people are stronger players than me. But the difference is when certain moments in the service come where the anointing is really activated, and you have to kind of not only rely on your gift. That's the moments that I tend to gravitate to, because I know what I can bring. I know what I can do. And I think that's a lot of things musicians fail to realize. They try to make it such a competition, and they try to make it, I need to do the best run, or the hottest lick on drums, or the baddest riff on bass, but at the end of the day, if you don't have character, if you don't have integrity, if you're not professional, if you don't have the anointing, a relationship with God, all this is just a tingling brass and a sounding cymbal.
So true. I've learned that sometimes the most simple of melodies are the things that stick with a person for the rest of their life. You have so many timeless pieces that have been written because they were so simple and not over the top, trying to be 50 million breaks and all this stuff. And people remember the simpleton.
Yeah, man.
And I kind of apply that to my life. Sometimes we just got to be simple. Let's be practical, logical, nice human beings. Let's love our neighbor.
That's it.
Why am I hating on this other musician when, honestly, on our best days, it's somebody else's worst?
Man, you said a mouthful. Then listen, we're gonna take a break. Listen, I'm gonna come to you all. I need you all to share this. Listen, whenever you see the hashtag When Tired Water Talks, then we're gonna be promoting something musically, especially from musicians primarily in this area, but right now we're stretching abroad. I have some great things in store for the When Tired Water Talks fans and followers. So please stay tuned. We have something big really coming up, and we're about to transition to another segment. Steven's about to play something on organ. I don't know what he's about to play, but I'm just talking until he gets prepared. So listen, y'all help me celebrate him. Give me some hearts if you're enjoying this video. You all share this. Invite some people to come in. So he's about to play. So it's on you, my brother. Play Steve. Let the church say amen. Man. See this guy. I'm telling you. It's amazing. When you were playing, my mind went back to all of the hymns that before I came to Norfolk State in 2000, I knew none of those songs. I knew the favorite 20, the top 40 in the hymnal, when the hymn book has 500 songs.
Yeah.
But you were playing some of the ones that we try to skip over. How important is it to be balanced as a musician? You know, sometimes you may have those songs when someone jump up and sing, "This is my Father's world," or "Rejoice ye pure in heart." And how should we be prepared? You know, how do you practice? You know,
well, I got most of my practice in playing at my grandfather's church growing up. Now I grew up Pentecostal.
Oh yes, that's it. That's it.
He allowed me the opportunity to go visit the Baptist folk. And being at the Baptist church, they really taught me the importance of learning the foundation. To me, hymns are the foundation of the church. They teach you certain kind of patterns, certain things, certain way. It opens up your mind to kind of what we hear today. It's really nothing but a repeat of things and just added stuff.
Right.
So I learned early that, you know, if you don't know hymns, like, you really don't know why you're playing what you're playing. Every hymn has a story. Every hymn has a message. It's trying to tell you something. I mean, even take like Andre Crouch's "The Glove," which is a hymn. And I remember one Sunday, and I'm not gonna say the church, but one Sunday I was like, I'm sweating in the blood for the hymn. He was like, "The blood?" And he was like, "Now, I've always heard that song, but I never knew it was a hymn." It's like, yeah, it's a hymn. Yeah. I mean, but like knowing the story to me helps understand why I'm playing.
Right.
You know, it's nothing but kind of like reading the word. You know, you're getting the word, but just in musical form. It's the same message, you know, but musically it teaches us, you know, in a sense, the principles of why we play.
Absolutely. And I believe that the hymns is one genre of gospel music that I believe that will never die, that will never go out. I believe they outlive CCM, they outlive the shouting bumps, they outlive, you know, even traditional gospel. The hymns were here some 300 years ago. Some, you know, older than that we don't really know. But I believe that every musician should have a base knowledge of hymns, you know, even if you don't like it. And I'm going to ask you this question. I had some people to say that, you know, Mick, you know, my church don't do hymns. They only do CCM, and you all always beating up the musician for not knowing hymns. And my response to them was, we have people that can impart to you. We have YouTube. We have fellow people in your area. So speak to the importance of how that we all should have someone to pour into us, someone that we consider a mentor. For example, my mentor is Calvin Austin. Calvin Austin, when I first came down here, I was a Pentecostal boy, only playing 5 out of 12, and he took the time to sit with me to show me the basic fundamentals. And then I was in a Kojic church. So being in a Kojic church from a Pentecostal background, half of that was good. But when Bishop Samuel Green, rest his soul, would get up and sing one of those, "Oh, what a beautiful morning," and I'd be like, what is that? He taught me the principles. So what would you say about, you know, that?
All right, it's two things I was about. One, when you feel like you've learned all you could, then you need to stop playing. We live in a day where people just feel like, you know, I can teach myself, you know, I got this by myself, and that's not how we were designed. Since I was a kid, the one key thing that my father told me growing up was that you always find somebody greater than you, so that you can become that as well as and add that part of yourself. One thing I have a great appreciation for my father is that he was not selfish. And I say that as in he was a musician, he's great, he's phenomenal. But my father also knew that there was only a certain place that he could take me. And he knew that the only way that I can be greater than he, which now makes him even greater, was that he sends me off to someone that can give me more. So I have about 5 or 6 mentors in all different areas. I have one that can teach me gospel. I have one that can teach me classical. I have one that can teach me jazz. I have one that can teach me about all of the other genres, because the one way that you can be the greatest of you are is to know about everything. At least have some knowledge of it. Because if you don't have knowledge of it, how can you relate?
That's true.
It goes beyond being just the great church musician. Because what happens when you're asked to do something in a jazz setting, or you go into that world and you're lost because you don't even know what's going on. They're having a whole conversation and you're left out. Music is a conversation. We're having a conversation, and it's good. It's good to play in church. I love the church. But there's more to knowing than just beyond church, because they're different styles. But the greatest part about that is that everything comes back together. It takes every type of genre to make music.
Man, that's good. I tell people whenever I talk, I don't know why, for some reason the Lord had people gravitate to me, and I always tell them it's one thing that everybody does, and that's music. If it's the beat of our heart, if it's the sound that we make when we walk, if it's the snoring that we do in our sleep, music is something that even though they say they can't sing, they do it because they talk in a certain tone, they laugh in a certain tone. So I think music is so important because it can change moods. We got you already know. I'm just talking to the crowd. Music can put you in a romantic setting. If you would dare listen to some shout music while you trying to be intimate with your wife. You know what I'm saying? My wife would be like, "Boy, have you lost your mind?" Talking about, "Hey, baby, come on." That don't even feel right. So music is so important that it can change atmospheres. It can change lives.
It can literally change lives.
Yeah, man.
Music is the only thing that can enter your brain without permission. That is scientifically proven that music is the only thing that can enter your mind without your permission.
You see, this is why I'm glad I interviewed. Listen to me. Before I have him to play something else, listen, y'all share this video. If y'all like the information that Steven is sharing and the little bit of knowledge that I'm trying to give with this gentleman, I'm telling you, give me some heart, share this video. Whenever you see the hashtag When Tired Would Talk, we're promoting something musically, how to be better, how to be more professional, how to just be a better musician. So I'm going to ask him to play something else, and then we're going to ask our final question. So it's back in your hands. I don't know if you want to do organ or keys or...
I don't even know what to play.
Listen, do y'all like this? Y'all like this type of talking? I feel like I'm ready to preach. Slap your baby and say, baby. Anyway, listen, y'all. We ready to... He's going to play one more song, and then we're going to ask 2 last questions, then we're going to close out. I thank you all for sharing this video, for being a part. I have something great coming up in the near future, in the month of August. It's going to be something that's going to be really phenomenal. I want to celebrate everyone. We have over 3 million views, so many thousands of shares, and I've had over 70 people to participate with Tired Water Talk. So I just want to personally thank everyone that's ever believed in the dream that the Lord has given me to help inspire musicians everywhere. So I see now that he's talking, so I'm going to stop my preaching, small talk. So here he is. Hear ye him. My bad. Technical difficulty, excuse us. I want to see if y'all was awake. That's all I did that for. That was a test of the emergency broadcast system. Yes, sir. I need thee. I felt like you're ready to say, bravo! I don't know why I'm snapping like I'm in poetry night or something. Man, that was amazing, man. Man, you got a touch. So you do it all. Church, gospel, classical, jazz. Man, that's good, man. I had one question that I asked everybody. When it comes to who Stephen Aaron Pender is, when the dust is settled and the Lord transition you on or whatever may happen, what would you want to have your legacy be? When people talk about you, you want them to say, Stephen was...
Stephen he was kind, mm-hmm. He was silly, mm-hmm. He always helped others, and his music always spoke and represented his character.
Man, that's a legacy, because character, I'm telling you, it speaks volumes, and I'm just glad that a lot of musicians are really grasping the whole of character, because a lot of people can play, but a lot of people aren't invited back because of their character. So we definitely thank you so much for talking to Tidewater. And I do have a closeout song that I do, and I'm going to ask you to do something different, though. I'm going to ask that you play it on keys and then play it on organ. So, because I know you probably had two different approaches based on the instrument on your. So y'all share this video. Y'all share it. He's about to do the final. What am I talking? The final song. I'm telling you. See? Yeah, us Virgos, we stick together. So yeah, if you can play Always Remember on keys and then on organ, that would be great. Are you ready to sing too?
No.
Oh, I thought you were ready to sing. I was like, sing it, Reverend.
Always remember.
All right.
Jesus, Jesus, always remember. Jesus.
Sing, Steve.
Jesus, always keep him on your mind. Always remember Jesus, Jesus. Always remember Jesus, Jesus.
Yes, sir.
Always keep him on your mind. Oh, always keep him on your mind. Oh, always keep him on your mind.
Listen, as he's setting up on organ, listen, y'all share this. We got the last one. Phenomenal. promise y'all have never heard always remember Jesus like that. Listen, I just want to thank all of you all for sharing with me. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate you coming through. I know you're about to head on the road, so listen, I really appreciate you stopping through and had a busy weekend. You still made time to talk to Tower. So y'all give me some hearts if y'all enjoyed this video. Y'all share this video. Y'all subscribe to him. He has music out. He has 3 projects out. So if you like good music, go find it. What's your information on social media?
On iTunes.
iTunes. I got you.
On Instagram is Real Stephen Pender, RealStephenPender, or Stephen Pender Music. On Twitter is Real Stephen Pender. On Facebook is Stephen Pender fan page. Out of My Element, available on all streaming digital outlets, but please buy it. It takes 196 views to get 1 cent. So please help our indie artists by purchasing their product. I promise you will enjoy at least 1 track on the album. So matter of fact, you can do the example of hearing it. If you want to give it 1 that's 99 cents, at least it'll come to the artist.
That's right. That's right. We support our own, so I understand. I'm managing my wife, so I know how it is. Before you get $1,
yes, indeed.
You gotta get 15% now. But anyway, y'all have a good day. Thank y'all for tuning in.